When we talk about gratitude, many people think of something abstract or too spiritual. But science has shown that the act of being thankful has measurable effects on the brain. Studies from Harvard Medical School have revealed that people who keep gratitude journals experience greater well-being, less stress, and more clarity in decision-making. When applied to money, these factors can lead to smarter and more profitable financial choices. Imagine someone in debt who, instead of living in constant anxiety, starts practicing gratitude for what they've already managed to pay off. This simple mental shift reduces anxiety and creates space for thinking about practical negotiation strategies. In other words, gratitude doesn't magically erase debt, but it creates the emotional clarity needed to take better action. This is your subconscious working for you, not against you. Your subconscious holds not only beliefs, but also emotional triggers that shape your financial behaviors. If you grew up hearing that money is hard to come by, that idea becomes automatic. Gratitude acts as a reprogramming tool, creating new, positive associations. Instead of feeling burdened when talking about money, you begin to feel lighter, which directly influences how you manage your resources. World-renowned gratitude researcher Robert Emmons has proven that grateful people tend to save more, spend wiser, and get into less debt. This happens because gratitude reduces impulsive spending by shifting your focus from what you lack to what you already have. In other words, gratitude isn't just an emotion, it's a practical antidote to reckless consumerism. When your subconscious receives these new signals, it changes the filter through which you see life. Suddenly, you start noticing opportunities for extra income, job promotions, or even creative ways to save money. Before, those same opportunities went unnoticed, blocked by scarcity mindset. In this sense, gratitude is a new lens through which to see reality. And here's an important heads up. The most powerful secret of gratitude will only be revealed in the final minutes of this video. It explains why most people never truly make the law of attraction work with money. So stick with me until the end, because what you're about to discover could completely change the way you handle your finances. How science explains the effects of gratitude on the brain. Gratitude has moved beyond spiritual advice and into the realm of neuroscience. Research from the University of California has shown that giving thanks activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and long-term planning. This means grateful people have more discipline when it comes to money, making them better at resisting impulse buys. Another study, published in Frontiers in Psychology, found that gratitude reduces activity in the brain's amygdala, which controls fear. In other words, being thankful literally reduces financial anxiety, giving you more clarity to invest, negotiate, or plan. From a hormonal perspective, gratitude increases serotonin and dopamine, neurotransmitters that create a sense of well-being. This chemical balance directly influences economic behavior. Less anxious people spend more rationally, negotiate with more confidence, and avoid unnecessary debt. What's most interesting is that this effect is cumulative. The more you practice gratitude, the more your brain strengthens neural pathways that make this state easier to access. It's like training an emotional muscle that also strengthens your financial intelligence. Applying this to real life, imagine someone who, instead of complaining when paying bills, feels thankful for having the resources to cover them. This simple shift in perception reduces stress and improves their relationship with money. The brain begins to understand that managing finances isn't a burden, it's a demonstration of capability. This mindset creates more motivation to organize spending, seek new sources of income, and recognize opportunities that would otherwise go unnoticed under stress.
The impact of gratitude on the energy vibration of money. While the idea of vibration might sound esoteric to some, science has shown that emotions literally change our body's frequency. Research from the HeartMath Institute has revealed that feelings like gratitude and joy create heart coherence, a state where the heart and brain work in harmony. This coherence brings mental clarity and sharpens your ability to recognize opportunities, which is essential for anyone seeking prosperity. In practical terms, people in a state of gratitude make more strategic financial decisions and attract healthier relationships, which often lead to business opportunities and partnerships. Moreover, the vibration of gratitude acts as an antidote to emotions that harm finances, such as fear, envy, and anxiety. When someone lives in a state of scarcity, they tend to act out of desperation, buying things they don't need, accepting unfair terms, or self-sabotaging because they believe they don't deserve better. Gratitude shifts that mindset. Those who give thanks, even for small financial wins, like paying a bill on time or getting an unexpected discount, reinforce an internal sense of abundance. This new pattern creates a cycle: more gratitude, more confidence, and more opportunities noticed and seized. Here's how to apply this in real life. Instead of complaining about what your salary can't do, practice gratitude for every bit of income you receive. This simple shift changes how you handle money. People who adopt this mindset often report noticing chances for extra income, new professional connections, or even business ideas. It's not because the universe is magically rewarding them. It's because gratitude expands your vision and opens the door to smarter choices. Why most people can't activate true gratitude. One of the biggest obstacles is the mechanical way many people try to practice gratitude. Repeating phrases like, "I'm grateful for money," without genuine emotion doesn't convince your subconscious. The result is frustration. Nothing changes because deep down, your energy still vibrates with scarcity. Psychologists call this emotional incongruence, when your rational mind says one thing, but your body and emotions don't align. For gratitude to work, it has to be felt authentically, not just spoken. Another barrier to true gratitude is constantly focusing on lack. People who obsess over debts, overdue bills, or social comparisons create a mental filter that cancels out any thankfulness. It's like trying to fill a bucket with holes. No matter how much you pour in, the emptiness remains. A practical way out is to start small. Give thanks for real, tangible wins, from the food on your table to the electricity that lets you watch this video. This exercise reduces internal conflict and trains your brain to recognize real abundance. Impatience also plays a role. Many people give up because they don't see immediate results. But gratitude is like strength training. It takes repetition to reprogram your subconscious. Stories of financial turnaround show that the first signs of change aren't instant miracles. They're small shifts in behavior. Spending more consciously, negotiating debts with calmness, or accepting opportunities that were once overlooked. It's in these small victories that true gratitude begins to take root.
Anticipatory gratitude, being thankful for what hasn't arrived yet. The practice of anticipatory gratitude is one of the most transformative habits because it changes your relationship with time. Instead of anxiously waiting for the future, you act as if your goal has already been achieved. Neuroscience research shows that the brain doesn't distinguish between real experiences and vividly imagined ones filled with strong emotion. So when you give thanks for a job, a raise, or extra income that hasn't arrived yet, your subconscious interprets it as reality and begins aligning your behaviors to match it. This method is especially helpful for those dealing with debt or financial uncertainty. Instead of dwelling in worry, the person begins giving thanks as if they've already paid off what they owe. This emotional state reduces anxiety, increases mental clarity, and opens the door to practical solutions, like negotiating better payment terms or finding alternative ways to earn. In other words, anticipatory gratitude isn't self-deception. It's a strategy to keep your mind focused on possibilities rather than blocked by problems. A simple exercise is to write daily, "I'm thankful for the financial freedom that is already part of my life." More important than the words is the feeling behind them.
When done with sincere emotion, this habit builds confidence, reduces self-sabotage, and strengthens financial discipline. Giving thanks for what hasn't yet arrived becomes emotional fuel, helping you act with more focus in the present and speeding up the arrival of abundance. The difference between genuine gratitude and forced gratitude. Many people give up on gratitude because they confuse repeating empty phrases with truly feeling thankful. This is the trap of forced gratitude, saying "I'm grateful" without any real emotion behind it. Research in positive psychology, like the work of Martin Seligman, shows that only exercises involving authentic emotion produce lasting changes in well-being and behavior. In other words, gratitude only works when it's genuine, when your body responds with relief, joy, or peace, not when your mouth just repeats hollow words. Genuine gratitude comes from connecting with real experiences. It can be something simple, like remembering a shared meal, a bill you managed to pay during a tough time, or an opportunity you received. These kinds of memories activate emotional areas of the brain and release dopamine, reinforcing a sense of abundance. Forced gratitude, on the other hand, often increases frustration because your subconscious detects the mismatch between words and feelings. To cultivate genuine gratitude, it's better to give thanks a few times with depth rather than many times without feeling anything. A helpful exercise is to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and recall 3 recent moments, no matter how small, when you truly felt supported or abundant. This practice builds emotional consistency into the habit and creates a real vibration of abundance that influences both your mindset and your daily financial choices.
How gratitude reprograms limiting beliefs about wealth. Many financial struggles don't come from a lack of money itself, but from beliefs rooted in the subconscious. Phrases like "money is dirty," "rich people don't go to heaven," or "only hard work pays off" shape behaviors of scarcity. Gratitude works like a software update. Every time you give thanks for what you have, you send your subconscious the message that money is positive and accessible. Over time, this emotional repetition replaces old programming. Studies in behavioral economics show that grateful people tend to have greater financial self-control, saving more and avoiding impulsive spending. This happens because gratitude activates the same area of the brain linked to patience and long-term planning. In practical terms, being thankful for small wins, like paying off part of a debt or receiving a bonus, strengthens the feeling of progress. This positive reinforcement builds discipline and resilience, essential pillars for turning beliefs of scarcity into habits of abundance. A simple exercise is to give thanks for every bit of money that comes in or goes out, no matter how small. When you pay a bill, instead of feeling loss, appreciate the service you received in return. This subtle shift reduces the negative emotional charge around money and builds a relationship of trust with it. Gradually, your subconscious stops seeing money as an enemy and begins recognizing it as a partner in building a prosperous life. Practical daily gratitude exercises to attract money. Knowing that gratitude changes your relationship with money isn't enough. You have to turn it into a daily habit. One of the most effective exercises is keeping a financial gratitude journal. At the end of each day, write down 3 concrete money-related things you're thankful for. It could be a payment you received, an unexpected discount, or even resisting an impulse purchase. This practice trains your brain to focus on progress, not just lack. Another exercise is reframing how you pay bills. Instead of focusing on loss, express gratitude for the service you're receiving: electricity, internet, a roof over your head. Psychology research shows that changing how you interpret spending reduces financial stress and increases your sense of control. This simple shift helps your mind associate managing money with something positive, not something painful. A third exercise is emotional visualization. Close your eyes for 2 minutes, imagine your ideal financial situation, and give thanks as if it's already real. This practice activates your subconscious and sharpens your ability to recognize real opportunities. The key is consistency. 5 minutes of intense gratitude every day is better than hours of empty repetition. Little by little, these exercises build a new financial identity.
The role of imagination combined with gratitude. Imagination is the tool your brain uses to rehearse the future, and when you combine it with gratitude, it becomes even more powerful. Neuroscience studies show that visualizing a goal with strong emotion activates the same brain areas as the real experience. That means if you imagine yourself receiving extra income while feeling thankful, your subconscious starts to believe it's already happening, shaping your actions to match that reality. This combination also reduces internal blocks. Many people believe certain achievements aren't for them. But by visualizing and feeling grateful for those outcomes, the brain begins to accept them as possible. This isn't magic, it's mental conditioning. People who train this way tend to act with more confidence in job interviews, negotiations, and sales, which naturally increases their chances of financial success. In practice, the exercise is simple. Every day, take a few minutes to create a mental movie of the future you want, like paying off debt, signing a new contract, or traveling without worry. The key is to feel gratitude in your body as if it's already happening. This blend of imagery and emotion creates clarity, motivation, and discipline, essential ingredients for turning imagination into real financial results. Real stories of people who built wealth using gratitude. Theories can inspire, but nothing is more convincing than real-life stories. One example is Sarah, an American entrepreneur studied in a positive psychology program. She was near bankruptcy, but started writing down 3 money-related things she was grateful for every day, even during the toughest times. This habit reduced her anxiety, boosted her creativity, and within months, she had restructured her business and returned to profitability. Another case involves Brazilians deep in debt who took part in gratitude workshops as part of financial education programs. By being thankful even for their debts, understanding that those debts represented goods and services they had already used, they released negative emotional weight and found the strength to renegotiate payments and plan their spending better. Instead of seeing themselves as victims, they began to see themselves as capable of turning their situation around. These stories show that gratitude doesn't create money out of thin air. It changes how you relate to it. This internal shift opens the door to smarter, less impulsive, and more strategic decisions. People who practice gratitude authentically don't just attract opportunities, they also gain the courage and clarity to take advantage of them.
The relationship between positive emotions and financial opportunities. Emotions work like filters for reality. They shape what we see and how we respond. Research by Barbara Fredrickson, a leading psychologist in positive psychology, shows that uplifting emotions like gratitude broaden our awareness and boost creativity. This explains why people in a positive emotional state often notice financial solutions that others miss when they're stuck in stress or fear. In the real world, this means that people who practice gratitude find it easier to spot opportunities for extra income, develop business strategies, or negotiate more effectively. Positive emotions also strengthen relationships, and many financial breakthroughs come from partnerships and connections. On the other hand, negative emotions narrow our focus, leading to impulsive decisions like unnecessary spending or giving up when things get tough. In practical terms, maintaining a daily attitude of gratitude isn't just about feeling good. It's about creating the emotional conditions to seize real opportunities. A professional who stays balanced projects confidence, attracts clients, and closes deals more easily.
In other words, cultivating positive emotions is also a strategy for prosperity. How gratitude builds resilience during financial challenges. Financial difficulties are inevitable, but how we respond to them makes all the difference. Psychology research shows that gratitude increases emotional resilience, helping people stay clear-headed even under pressure. Instead of acting out of desperation, those who practice gratitude find the strength to explore alternatives, negotiate debts, or create adaptive strategies. Here's a practical example. Someone in debt who chooses to feel grateful, not for the debt itself, but for the chance to learn how to manage their finances, shifts their mental energy. This mindset reduces stress, improves emotional well-being, and leads to more thoughtful decisions. Many success stories show that financial turnarounds didn't begin with new money, but with a new mental attitude toward the problem. In practice, gratitude doesn't make challenges disappear, but it keeps those challenges from defining you. It turns obstacles into stepping stones for growth. People who maintain this attitude tend to recover faster from setbacks, rebuild their financial stability, and often reach even higher levels of success after overcoming difficulty. That's why gratitude can be seen as a psychological shield against scarcity.
The domino effect of gratitude. Small things that open big doors. Most people wait for big achievements to feel grateful, but it's actually the opposite that creates prosperity. Studies in behavioral psychology show that giving thanks for small wins, like a discount, a favor, or an on-time payment, increases your sense of progress. This mindset builds motivation to keep going and opens the door to bigger opportunities. This is what's known as the domino effect of gratitude. When you recognize the value in small things, you send your brain the message that you're already living in abundance. This mental shift reduces anxiety and boosts confidence, two factors that directly influence financial decisions. Someone who appreciates small steps forward tends to have more discipline to save, invest, and plan ahead. In real life, you can see this effect in stories of people who started by being thankful for small amounts of extra income and eventually built solid careers or businesses. It's no coincidence. Gratitude creates a positive feedback loop where every achievement, no matter how small, paves the way for bigger ones. Gratitude and alignment with the law of attraction. The law of attraction is based on the idea that we attract what we consistently feel. In this context, gratitude is the emotion that creates perfect alignment. It puts your mind in a state of already having received. Instead of vibrating with lack, you vibrate with abundance. Research in positive psychology confirms that this state increases motivation and improves decision-making, two practical factors that explain why grateful people achieve more. A common mistake is trying to apply the law of attraction only through repeated phrases or emotionless visualization. Without gratitude, these methods remain superficial. Giving thanks, on the other hand, adds depth and authenticity to your intentions. People who practice daily gratitude stabilize their energy, reduce outcome-related anxiety, and act with greater confidence. It's this combination of inner clarity and practical action that turns desires into real achievements. Applied to money, a simple exercise is this. When imagining a more stable financial life, give thanks as if it already exists. This state eliminates energy of lack and strengthens your subconscious. Over time, you begin to act in alignment, spending consciously, recognizing opportunities, and improving your relationship with money. Gratitude, then, isn't just an emotion, it's the bridge that makes the law of attraction work in daily life. How to turn gratitude into a lifestyle of prosperity. Gratitude becomes truly powerful when it moves beyond an occasional practice and turns into a lifestyle. This means weaving it into your daily routines, your decisions, and even the way you handle money.
Research shows that people who consistently practice gratitude experience lower levels of financial stress and display more discipline when it comes to saving and investing. In other words, being thankful isn't just a mental exercise, it's daily training in emotional and financial intelligence. Turning gratitude into a habit takes consistency. Instead of waiting for something big to happen, start by acknowledging small wins every day. This habit creates a stable emotional state that helps you weather tough times and strengthens your resilience. Over time, giving thanks stops feeling like a conscious effort and becomes automatic, naturally shaping how you approach money. In practical terms, this could mean pausing to feel grateful before making important financial decisions, celebrating small steps in paying off debt, or valuing every opportunity to earn extra income. Little by little, this mindset shapes your identity. You're no longer just someone who practices gratitude. You become someone who is grateful at their core. And that identity, supported by consistent habits, creates a lasting cycle of prosperity and balance. Now you understand how gratitude can transform not only your mindset, but also your financial life. But this is just the beginning. In the next video, I'll reveal the 3 most common mistakes that cause the law of attraction to fail when it comes to money, and how to avoid them so you can finally unlock your flow of abundance. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and don't miss the next episode. That's where you'll discover why money might not be flowing into your life the way you want, and what you can do to change it. See you there.